Gordon, Zach Wilson is not who we thought he was.
Ooh. No, he's not.
No.
Well, Dan, I mean, you said it. You said it in the lead up, right? Like you said, what would Zach Wilson have to do to win you over, right? What did he have to do? I think your stat line was something along the lines of 295 and 3 touchdowns. And you know what? Had Tyler Conklin caught that ball, he'd have been right there, man.
Yep.
He'd have been right there. But dude, overall, just what's your overall feeling about the game? I'm happy we did this the night after, right? So it's Monday night right now. I'm happy we did this the night after because I was feeling some type of way yesterday. But again, it's nice to digest.
Sure, it's nice to reflect.
What do you got? What do you got for me?
I mean, we talked briefly before we got on, but like, dude, I'm really excited. Like, Zach Wilson was a lost cause. It was like, this is his last chance to show that he can do anything. And if he's not good versus the Chiefs, then he's not going to be a starter. I mean, he literally because we keep holding on this shred of hope that he's somehow going to be that quarterback that we saw at BYU or going to be somebody who we have always wanted him to be. But he hasn't done it. And it's been 3 years. And I think we were losing any sort of hope. When he lost the Patriots, it just kind of became, look, this is it. He's not our guy. And, we're going to have to go to a backup or we're going to have to sign a Simeon. And that sucked.
Yeah.
But I think Zach took a lot of the hate that he's getting. I think he's allowing that to kind of fuel him a little bit, which a lot of the great quarterbacks do.
Yeah.
He played with edge. He played with a lot of speed. He was quick. It was the Zach Wilson that we
decisive is a word that I've never thought about saying with Zach Wilson right after these last.
Saleh said in his press conference too, and that's what he was doing. And we kept saying he can't just drop back and just kind of just start looking around.
Yeah,
there's your A and there's your B. If those two aren't there, you scramble. You're gone. Or you hit your check down. That's what Zach needs to do. Keep it, simplify it for him. And he was making changes at the line and calling stuff out. He almost had a bass to his voice when he was on the field that we had never seen before. He had when you just see quarterbacks, they kind of get into a rhythm with even just the things that they're saying. He sounded like an NFL quarterback is what I'm trying to say. So when he gets the pass, you're like, he doesn't even really sound like he knows what he's doing. He sounded like an NFL quarterback. He looked like it. And I'm excited for the Broncos game next week.
Dude, I agree. I mean, as the game started, obviously, I think our first quarter didn't go our first quarter went exactly how we thought our first quarter was going to go against the Chiefs, right? So 17-0, 17-0. We stumble on offense a little bit, but then Zach Wilson just absolutely and credit to Hackett, grew into this game, right? Throwing quick, decisive passes. And I mean, in the first quarter, you could see him be it was almost mechanical, right? He was like, I'm going to go to my first read. If I don't see it, I'm dumping it. I'm going, I'm going my check down. And then as he grew more comfortable, you could see his confidence grow throughout the game. First read, then maybe second read. Now maybe I'll dump it down. And dude, it was unreal. Some of those throws, those back shoulder throws, the one to Conklin, the one to Lazard,
there's
the
4 or 5
touchdown to Lazard,
high level, reputable or memorable throws. I mean,
the touchdown to Lazard, dude, he couldn't have thrown that in any other window.
A laser right
to the left, it would have been Lazard wouldn't have been able to catch it anymore, and to the right, it would have been intercepted in the end zone.
Yep.
So yeah, overall, dude, just very happy with what we saw from Zach Wilson. Again, I know there's no moral victories in this game, but you've got to be encouraged as a Jet fan coming out of this game, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs 23-20. Right now, we could go in and talk about calls and all of that, and I mean, I think there is definitely a conversation to be had about that, right? But again, looking in, Michael Carter dropped that third down pass that could have extended a drive. Tyler, in the first quarter, Wilson was low to Conklin, was low and to the left a little bit to Garrett Wilson. In the third quarter, he had Garrett Wilson wide open for a touchdown, and then that throw to Conklin was a touchdown. So like we could look back and say like these plays should have been executed better. But I mean, the way I look at that is like players control that, right? Like Zach Wilson controls how he throws the ball. Tyler Conklin controls his hands and Garrett Wilson controls his hands. It sucks when you can't control the outcome of a play or something like that. Like, and I mean, maybe you could, right? Like Sauce obviously doesn't have to wrap his arm around the shoulder or anything like that. And like Jermaine Johnson could have fallen down, but like when you can't control that and you feel like that is a pivotal point in the game, deciding and extending both on 3rd and 20, might I have you, right? Like extending their drives. It's just unbelievable.
It's just baby Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's little baby Mahomes. He's the new Brady. He used to be baby Brady, and now
they're going to get
Mahomes.
the calls.
He's going to be babied in every single shape and form.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. The NFL loves him. They love the Chiefs. They want to see the Chiefs win. It's good for the NFL brand. They want to see them back in the playoffs. And what would the Chiefs be if they lost the Lions and the Jets at 2-2? Absolute. Just they wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't.
I will say we did get 2 calls, right? Like that face mask call. I didn't read the letter of I don't know the letter of the law. So like what I've heard is that he was grabbing, but he didn't twist and pull until he was in the end zone, right? So like where does the foul start? Does it start when he's grabbing or does it start when he's twisting and pulling? I'm not a ref. I don't know. And then that horse collar call was not a horse collar at all.
That was amazing.
So you know what? And that extended a drive for us. So it was like, okay, we get those early in the game, but then obviously the Chiefs get the ones later in the game to undecidedly decide that game, right? Like
they did.
There was a very good chance we would at least have gotten a field goal. And because Wilson was cooking in that second half, dude, like came out that first drive in the third quarter.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Man. Some of those throws are, like I said, very high level throws. Well, let's get into our gas and break.
Put it to bed. Exactly. What do you got? What's your gas?
I mean, it's got to be Zach.
Yeah.
It's got to be Zach. He looked like an NFL quarterback. He showed us things he's never showed us before in the past. This is encouraging for the future. I think he needed like one of these prove it games.
Yeah.
You know, like he needed to show that not to anybody else, but even to himself. It's one of those things, man, where you can have all
to the locker room, man, like to the locker room, right? Like,
and just be able to say, like, I can do this. Yeah. And not only I can do this versus one of the best teams in the NFL. So I should have confidence really going into every other one of the games because I can do this. And it's one of those things you like as an athlete, you know this, I know this. It's really tough to say I can do this when you don't have any proof. Like you can continuously say like, man, I can be good at this. I can be good at this. I can be a good player. But you can just keep talking and talking until you're blue in the face.
When you get stuck in that rut, it's like
show it.
It becomes all talk. Exactly.
So he showed it. He's my gas, and I'm excited for the next game.
I agree, dude. I couldn't agree more. Wilson breaking out is obviously a highlight for me. And again, I could sit here and go defense again as my gas, but I think at this point we're pretty happy with how the defense is playing. But honestly, I'm super pumped on another week of this offensive line kicking ass, man. Like this is without a doubt our best combination. So I hope we keep it. I think Becton struggled a little bit, but again, you're going up, you're going up against Chris Jones. You got some other great defensive linemen on that side of the field, on that side of the team. So like, yeah, dude, just unbelievably happy. And then Tippmann and AVT are going, like, I hope Tippmann stays at guard now and AVT stays at tackle, right? Because like Tippmann is playing phenomenal football, and then AVT is just a freak who can play literally any position.
Yeah, they're gelling right now.
So love that. Love this offensive line. And I want to see them continue to grow and continue to move on. So
for sure. Yeah. My break, and this isn't the defense as a whole.
Okay.
This is how the defense starts, because we've seen this before where we start really, really slow.
Yeah.
Even just going back to last year where we had a top 5 defense, arguably in the league. And there were games where like 10 points would be up in the first quarter, 13 points up in the first quarter. Teams are scoring touchdowns on their first drive. and the defense just needed time to settle down and get their feet under them. So, if they want to be one of these historical defenses, like for some
DJ Reed
reason,
said we would be.
you can't start slow. You can't
I
let
agree.
up 13 points in the first quarter. So I would say my gas is making sure that the defense kind of tightens
Starts
up a little
hot.
bit and is able to kind of play their brand of football all game long instead of,
Yeah.
late in the second quarter.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I honestly think the whole team needs to start, a little bit faster. Again, the offense was a little slow. But again, we grew into that game and made it a game. But my break is going to be Dalvin Cook, man. I don't want to see Dalvin Cook play another down for us.
He will.
Every time it feels like he touched the ball, it was either a negative play, 1 or 2 yards. Like give Izzy the time now. I know Michael Carter had that drop, right? But Michael Carter looked really well, except for that one drop last night. So I'm gonna go with giving Izzy some more touches and Michael Carter some more touches over Dalvin Cook. So
I mean, Cook looks like he's playing without pads on.
yeah,
That's what
he
it
looks
looks
scared.
it looks like he doesn't want to hit holes. He doesn't want to be hit hard. He wants to go around the outside. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not finding the gaps properly. He had one decent run when we were down near the goal line, and he got it down to the 2-yard line or something like that, or whatever that was. And then Zach had the touchdown to Uzama right after that. So
Yeah.
he had that one okay run, but yeah, he just looks slow. He looks like exactly the reason why somebody gets rid of a Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, yeah.
He looks like Le'Veon
Scared
Bell.
to hit holes. Like there were a few replays I was watching. Like there was a hole developing. He ran into to behind some players. Like the one screen pass he caught. Like he went out and I think he probably could have cut inside, and he decided to juke out around the outside. Like just looks like he's scared. I don't know. Maybe he's bummed that Rodgers is out. That he was ready to go with Rodgers.
Yeah, well, suck it up.
And his motivation is down. Exactly.
$8 million a year.
Yeah. But I don't need to see him anymore.
No, yeah, I'm done with him too. Yeah, I think we're gonna feed Brees this next game.
I hope so. Oh, I hope so against the Broncos. The Broncos, if I'm not mistaken, was Brees's come out game last year, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, he's gonna get Brees, a lot of touches.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Very good. Well,
quick and easy. Not much else to discuss. Like I said, no moral victories.
Yeah. We'll be breaking down the Broncos game throughout the week and kind of giving you guys some videos. We're trying to make more of those on a daily basis. So hopefully able to continue to do that and see you guys next Friday.
Got some juicy takes for this Broncos game. So let's go. You know what you say about Russell Wilson, Dan.
Oh man. He's proven it too. He stinks.
JETS.
Jets.